longer side. Hi everyone, welcome to the shop. Today I'm going to be starting the bar build, and if you haven't seen the video on the arm rail or armrest, there'll be a link in the description below, or you can also catch it at the end of the video. Today I'm going to start with the frame, and I'm using 2x3 construction when it comes to the framing part. The top is going to be Baltic birch, and then the skirting of the bar is going to be sanded pine. So let's start off with the frame, and I'm going to be cutting these 2x3s at 40 inches long. And now I'm going to drive 3-inch screws with the 40-inch studs all the way along. Now I'm going to cut my blocking at 10 1/4 inches, and you'll see where that's going to go in just a minute. So this will be the front of the bar where your top hangs out. This blocking is going to go in between, and another wall is going to come down this way, and it just gives you an extra support on the top that's going to be hanging over, so it's secured properly. So I will build another one of these, and then I will secure these in place. Now I'm going to drill some pocket holes and secure these in place. Now that I've made multiple cuts to get the right size, I finally got it. And it's basically from 10 1/2 inches I went down to 2 1/2 inch block. So now I'm going to set up the saw, and I'm going to cut the 3/8 plywood for the sides. And this is for the front and the inside of where the cabinet is going to be going. So this is just where this is the top half of the bar unit, which is 7 feet, and this way will be 9 feet. And now I'm going to use some brad nails to shoot this piece of plywood down, and I'm going to be using 1.25 inch brad nails. Now I'm going to shoot this other half on. The reason why I did it this way, that I left this opening out, is because when I got to bring it to the customer's house and I got to install the cabinet, when I put this top on, it's going to be easier for me to screw underneath Then once I do that, I can put this other piece on, and then the other cabinet that's going this way, the countertop is going to slide and cover that joint. It just makes it easier to install the top, so I left this opening out. And now I'm going to shoot this in with brad nails. I'll cut this piece and have it ready to go. And then I can start building the other face front on the 9-foot length. Okay, so we're going to do a recap on where we're at with this bar build. So this is going to be the front of the bar. As you can see now, it's starting to really come along. It's already sheeted on the other side, but I still have to build the face frame for both sides of it. I left this part out so when I put the 2-foot countertop on top that I can screw from underneath. Panel's going to go on here after that. Then another countertop on the bottom here on top of the cabinets, which is going to stick out 2 feet as well. The cabinets are bare bones. There's no shelving. The customer didn't want any shelving in it. It's just a shelving at the very, very bottom with the countertop on top. There is an end rail that's going on the top only, nothing on the bottom. A face frame on this side, and also a face frame on the other side. So today I'm going to build the cabinets for this, and I'm going to start by cutting the plywood at 22¼ inches in width. Here I'm putting some bracing, and this is for the plywood that sits on top on the bottom, for the very, very bottom shelf. So this is the other cabinet that we're doing. This is the 9-foot side. So I'm going to do these in 2 pieces as well, in 2 halves. Now I'm going to be cutting the lower part of the countertop at 23¼ inches. And there's going to be a 3/4 inch edge band at the end, which will make it 24 inches wide, or deep. Okay, so I'm going to shoot this panel in place, but I'm not going to shoot this side, that way I can take it apart later. And I'm not worried about the pinholes, because there is a trim going on this face, and a trim that's going around on this side as well. And I will just shoot this in with brad nails. So now we're going to be using 1-inch screws to secure the 2 3/4-inch pieces of plywood together. And then after, I can drive screws under these 2x3s to secure the top into place. And I will go all the way around and drive these screws in, but I'm not going to secure it to the base yet until later on. I'm going to spray this separately from the base cabinets as well. Just makes it easier to bring to the customer's house. So I'm just going to run a little bit of glue on the edge band and just pin it into place, and then I'll do the same thing to the other side as well. Okay, now that I finished the bottom countertop, I'm going to start on the top countertop, and I'm going to cut these at 2 feet as well. Do the exact same thing up here that I did down here with the edge band on this side, but on the other side there's going to be a armrest or a bar top and rail, whichever you want to call it. So we'll get started on that. Okay, so this next sheet that is going on top here to bring it up to 1.5 inches is going to be a little bit smaller than 2 feet, because we're putting an end rail at the end of this countertop, and this piece is going to slide underneath. It sits like that. So this next piece is going to be 20 5/8. Okay, now that I have my tops all cut, I'm going to drive 1-inch screws underneath to secure both of them together, and then I can start cutting for my my end rail. Now that these are all secured, I'm going to start to cut for my miter on this end rail. So I'm going to start from this corner and go back that way, and then I'll go from here this way. Now that I have the top rail cut into place, I'm just going to use the 1-inch screws and just drive them from underneath to secure them down into place. Now at this point, I am going to make the face frame for the front of this. And I'm just going to use some pine, and I'm going to cut it at 2 7/8, 3 inches, and go all the way around. I'm going to use pocket hole screws to attach the face frame together. So I'm just going to drive some 1 1/4 screws into here. Okay, Okay, so I'm going to shoot my face frame in the front now with some brad nails. I'm just going to beat a glue all the way around, and I'll shoot it into place. Here I'm going to drill my pocket holes, and I'm going to attach the center pieces with 1¼ inch screws. So now I'm going to cut the plywood for the bottom of the shelf of the unit. Now that I got all the plywood cut for the bottom here, I'm not going to secure it until I bring it to the customer's house. That way I can secure this to the floor, and then I'll drop the bottom pieces in place and pin those down. So this is pretty much ready for sanding. Give it one last sand and it's ready for finish coat. So today I'm going to stain all my pieces, and I'm doing it in expresso. So this time I'm going to actually brush it on and just leave it on for a bit, and then wipe it down with a rag. And then this will sit overnight, and then tomorrow I will spray the sand and sealer and the precat lacquer. Okay, now that I have quite a few pieces already stained and ready to go, I'm going to spray a sand and sealer and then wait about an hour, give it a light sand, and then apply 3 coats of the precat clear. So I'm just going to use a 220 sandpaper, and I'm just going to lightly wipe down the table. I don't actually sand it, I just wipe it down. Then I'll just use a cloth, wipe down all the dust. Now that I finished spraying my last coat on this tabletop, that's a total of 3 coats, I'm going to wrap it up here, and there's going to be a part 2 to this on the install of the bar unit that's coming up next week. And that's when you'll see it all finished and put together there. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys think on the build and what you guys would have did differently. Love to hear your thoughts. And I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.